Welcome back. New York City Mayor Eric Adams' legal troubles are no more, at least for now. Federal prosecutors were directed to dismiss his case involving illegal campaign contributions from foreign nationals. You may remember Mayor Adams was indicted in September on charges including conspiracy, wire fraud, soliciting illegal foreign campaign contributions from foreign nationals, and bribery. Adams has pleaded not guilty to all of those charges. The mayor took to the podium moments ago and had this to say about the development. Listen in.
My fellow New Yorkers, as you may have heard, the Department of Justice has directed that the case against me be dismissed, finally ending a months-long saga that put me, my family, and this city through an unnecessary ordeal. As I said from the outset, I never broke the law, and I never would. I would never put any personal benefit above my solemn responsibility as your mayor. It is worth repeating the facts because many sensational and false claims have been made. So let me be clear. I never ask anyone to break the law on my behalf or on behalf of my campaign. Never. And I absolutely never traded my power as an elected official for any personal benefit. No witness ever came forward publicly to make claims against me. None of the baseless threats from prosecutors of new charges.
CBS News senior coordinating producer Anna Schecter is following all of this closely, and she joins us now. Anna, so nice to finally meet you once again. So I want to know your reaction from what you just heard from Mayor Adams. Good morning to you.
Well, I just keep thinking when this news broke of the indictment, reading page after page of a description of these elaborate trips overseas, five-star hotels in Istanbul, for example, all at the same time receiving campaign donations from straw donors, and then pushing through the allegation of pushing through an approval for a Turkish consulate here in New York City without the proper safety measures, pressuring the fire department to make those approvals. So when I hear him talking about that, it doesn't really jive with the story that prosecutors were telling in that indictment. And I think a lot of New Yorkers were looking forward to sort of letting the case take its course and the judicial process take its course. Now the Department of Justice, in such an unprecedented way, citing the focus on President Trump's immigration crackdown as a reason for pushing all of these allegations aside. And if you read that memorandum that came down last evening, the Department of Justice was very careful to say this is not about the merits of the case or the integrity of the case, but rather it's about two things. One, the timing. Mayor Adams is up for re-election in November. And two, and they really emphasize this, so it seems more important to the Department of Justice, that this case was interfering with his ability to devote his attention to or getting in line with President Trump's efforts to weed out illegal immigrants, particularly those with criminal backgrounds.
And Anna, I just wanted to follow up on that, just so our viewers understand here, because dropping these charges, that does not necessarily mean that prosecutors didn't have enough evidence to move forward with the case, correct?
That's exactly right. And it's not exactly dropping them altogether. It's dropping them for now. If you read between the lines and actually read the fine print here, what they're saying is this case will come under review after the November election, that whomever the Trump administration is going to appoint to lead the Southern District of New York, very important office in that, under DOJ's purview, whoever gets that job is going to review this after the election. So let's wait and see. Now, the legal experts that I've spoken to early this morning said it's so blatantly political. This is really about the Trump administration saying, okay, Mayor Adams, we're going to push this aside. Let's see if you fall in line with our policies. And if you do, well, let's see what happens after the November election. So it's really unprecedented. I've never seen anything like this before in 20 years covering these types of cases. So it's really, everybody here in New York City is buzzing about it, but also in Washington. This is, coming on the heels of a slew of executive orders that have been unprecedented. So interesting times that we are living in, and we get to watch it with a front row seat here at CBS News.
Yeah, very interesting indeed. So how are the mayor's opponents reacting to this news?
Oh, they have come out of the woodwork to say that Mayor Adams sold out New York City. Remember, this is campaigning time. There's an election coming up later on this year. And so his opponents, the most vocal of them, are actually running for re-election. But you have a serious cohort. Of course, he has his supporters, but he absolutely has detractors who know him from his time at NYPD, from his time as Brooklyn Bureau president. There's a lot of chatter amongst my sources who've known him for a long time who say that he actually doesn't respect the rule of law. You just heard him say that he absolutely does. He's never asked anyone to break the law on his behalf. So it's a real political and legal drama playing out here in New York City.
And I have to ask, the big picture here, does this set a precedent for other cases to be dismissed for political officials who maybe fall in line with the president?
That is a great question. Because this is unprecedented, I guess by default it could set a precedent. Let's see how this plays out. I think most legal experts think that the Southern District will fall in line, will drop the charges, or at least push this case aside, drop the charges for now, and then review it. But it remains to be seen. Let's see. Perhaps right now there is an acting lead of the Southern District of New York. Right now, Danielle Sassoon. Let's see what she does. So far, she's declined to comment. So I suppose we could see pushback on this, but I don't really expect to, since the decree in the memorandum was so clear, mandating that these charges be dropped.
Okay, Anna Schecter, so great to have you on the stream. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate your time.